Episode 200. Han Li sneered inwardly.
Ha. These people look like they'd rather never cross paths with the Black Fiend sect again. But which of the 7 sects has any reinforcements left to send? Every sect is so busy fighting the demonic path that even their reserve forces are stretched thin. Even if I could find a way to report this accurately, no one would come.
On his way back, Han Li had also sent a plea for help to Li Huiyuan through Yellow Maple Valley's contact within the border, briefly mentioning the matter.
The sect may turn a blind eye, but surely my master won't just ignore this. I got into this huge mess just doing his bidding, and I didn't even cut and run. If I really couldn't handle it, I could have just disappeared. As for what reinforcements are coming, I honestly have no idea. Best I can hope for is a few senior fellow disciples from the sect.
Though that was what he thought, on the surface, Han Li answered with a relaxed expression.
Of course not. At the very least, we should gather more intel on their strongholds and key figures before reinforcements arrive. That way, we can wipe them out in one fell swoop. Otherwise, just sitting around the Qin estate waiting is far too passive. It also gives them time to track us down. That's very disadvantageous.
Hearing Han Li's words, the 5 friends of Mengshan exchanged bewildered glances. The old man stroked his beard and spoke.
Senior makes a good point, but with just the clues we have now, we can't catch their trail at all. The safe house we were using before, they've definitely abandoned it. We've got nothing to go on.
The tall, lanky second brother gave a silent nod, signaling his agreement.
Rest assured, from your description of the 2 Black Sand sect leaders giving orders, I already know who they are. If we can capture them alive, that'll clear up most of the Black Fiend cult's affairs.
Han Li's words gave them pause at first, then their faces lit up with delight. Han Li now seemed even more inscrutable to them.
Good. Since Senior Han already has a plan, we will follow your instructions completely.
Han Li nodded, pleased.
We move tonight. The faster we act, the less time they'll have to be on guard.
Tonight?
The 5 friends of Meng Mountain couldn't hide their shock. Though they were taken aback by Han Li's decision, they found it made some sense, so they didn't object.
Senior, who exactly are the 2 people beneath that black veil?
You'll all find out when we move tonight.
That shut the middle-aged woman up, so she just put on a show of not caring. Before long, Qin Ping relayed Qin Yan's message and led the 5 friends of Meng Mountain to a nearby courtyard where he settled them in. Han Li watched their retreating figures, a strange look in his eyes. Then he murmured something under his breath, words that no one could make out. That evening, after supper, the 5 friends of Meng Mountain gathered in the living room of the Azure Cloud courtyard. They planned to wait until the late-night hour Han Li had mentioned before making their move. Strange. Why can't I remember? At that moment, the 30-something youth, Old Fourth, paced back and forth in the hall, shaking his head with a look of utter confusion on his face.
Fourth brother, still can't remember?
The youngest woman lounged in her chair, a lazy half-smile playing across her lips.
Fourth brother, you keep saying Senior Han looks familiar, that you must have met him somewhere before, but you can't remember when or where? You're not just imagining that because you're too eager to get in good with Senior Han, are you?
I think that's very likely. After all, this senior's appearance is far too ordinary. It's only natural for Fourth brother to find him familiar.
The tall, lean second brother remarked while savoring his fragrant tea. Yet his gaze never once left the middle-aged woman at his side, drifting back and forth between her still charming face and her abdomen, which still looked perfectly normal, a look of pure contentment on his face. This third-ranked middle-aged woman, thoroughly annoyed by his staring, shot him a sharp glare. Say what you will. I know what I saw. But it doesn't seem to be recent. Must be some years back, or I wouldn't have forgotten it so completely.
It's been years, fourth brother. We spent all that time in seclusion at Mount Mang, never once leaving. Don't tell me you met Senior Han before you were even out of diapers?
Third sister, you.
A few years ago, fourth brother wasn't always holed up in the mountains cultivating, was he? Have you all forgotten? Before we met fifth sister, we participated in an ascension tournament together. That trip kept us away for 2 or 3 months, but unfortunately, we all came back empty-handed. Still, at least no one was seriously hurt.
What? Everyone has participated in the Ascension tournament.
Fifth sister blinked, curiosity flickering across her face, while the second brother and the middle-aged woman exchanged bitter smiles.
There's nothing much to tell. That was the first time we truly understood what it meant to be frogs at the bottom of a well.
What? Fourth brother, tell me about it. What happened next?
The young woman's curiosity only grew. She turned back, ready to ask the young man about the ascension ceremony. But what met her eyes was a face full of utter shock.
Fourth brother, what's wrong?
Second brother, do you remember the day we joined the ascension tournament when we split off from big brother and third sister? I had a sudden craving and snuck off to a tavern in Jiayuan City for some food and drink. The young man didn't answer his companion's question. Instead, he suddenly brought up an old memory, leaving the tall, thin man utterly baffled.
Of course I remember. I covered for you at the time, but big brother found out in the end. He gave you a real tongue lashing.
That's right. When I got back, didn't I mention that I ran into a young cultivator in the small prison who seemed to be participating in the Ascension Assembly too? His cultivation was only at the 7th or 8th layer of chi condensation. We both thought he looked like he didn't know his limits.
It's been a long time, I really can't recall clearly, but I suppose it did happen.
The tall second brother really had no idea why the fourth brother had suddenly brought this up. The others listened to their exchange, equally puzzled and deeply curious. The little cultivator from back then is none other than Senior Han today. The young man blurted out a statement that left everyone present utterly dumbfounded.
What? You mean Senior Han is that low-level cultivator?
The lanky man shot up from his chair, his face a mask of utter disbelief.
What exactly happened? Give me the details.
It's like this, big brother.
The lanky man hastily recounted the events of that year, leaving the others utterly incredulous.
Fourth brother said that Senior Han was just a chi condensation layer 7 or 8 cultivator back then.
The young woman swallowed before speaking, then realizing her lack of composure. A blush crept across her face. But the others were all still in shock, and no one noticed her small gesture.
Fourth brother, you couldn't have mistaken him, could you? After all, that was over 10 years ago. Senior Han's face and age should be different by now.
No, that person is definitely Senior Han. He looks exactly the same as he did back then, just a little older. In just over a decade, a cultivator of such low cultivation had actually reached foundation establishment. The bitterness in their hearts was impossible to ignore. For a moment, no one felt like speaking.
All right, regardless of whether Senior Han is that person from back then, he's now a genuine foundation establishment cultivator. We absolutely cannot afford to be remiss in our etiquette. Don't ask questions you shouldn't, understand?
I understand.
All right, everyone, back to your rooms to rest and circulate your chi. Prepare yourselves. Who knows what kind of brutal fight awaits us tonight?
Hearing this, the others exchanged glances and filed back into their rooms one by one. In an instant, Qingyin courtyard fell utterly silent. About half an hour later, the sky had gone completely dark. Just then, a figure emerged from one of the side rooms in Qingyin courtyard. He carefully left the door ajar, glanced around, then slipped out of the courtyard without a sound. Taking advantage of the pitch-black night, he made his way to a distant corner of the wall. A flicker of hesitation shone in his eyes, but it quickly hardened into resolve. He fumbled a small box from his chest, just about to open it when a sigh sounded from behind him. His body jolted, nearly startling him into dropping the box to the ground. "Why would you do this?" Another voice, one he knew all too well, reached his ears almost simultaneously, thick with grief. Then, the area before them blazed with light as several figures emerged from nearby, each holding a moonstone. In the pale glow, their faces were etched with disbelief.
Why would you do this?
What do you mean, why? I just came out to test a magic tool, that's all.
Might I take a look at what's in your hand?
In the pitch-black night, Han Li drifted down from the sky, light as a feather.
Why would I ever let an outsider see my magic tool? Of course not. Right, fourth brother?
The sneaky figure turned out to be the young woman of the 5 friends of Mount Meng. Even as she struggled to keep her expression neutral, her arms were locked tight around the small box.
Fifth sister, hand that thing over to Senior Han.
Big brother, don't you believe me either?
It's precisely because everyone trusts you that they're giving you a chance to explain yourself. If there's nothing shameful inside that box, opening it yourself will clear everyone's doubts.